5 मिनट में लेट ज्वाइन करूंगा, वो एलर्जी केस में हूँ। 5 मिनट में 9:05 को ज्वाइन करता हूँ एलर्जी। हाँ। हाँ, तो मैं 5 मिनट। हाँ, ठीक। ठीक है, उन्होंने चालू कर दी मीटिंग, तो 5 मिनट में आके।
Good evening, everyone. So, today is a very special day in which we are going to initiate a very important initiative. I would like to say not only an initiative, a momentum, which is called as Allergy Smart School.
पॉलिसी
And
बना ली।
for inaugurating that session, we are having with us our chairperson, president of
हाँ,
Central IAP,
हाँ,
Indian Academy of Pediatrics, Dr. Vasant Khalatkar sir, in between us. So I would straight away like to invite sir, Dr. Vasant Khalatkar sir, for his inaugural address, and thereafter we will speak about this initiative. Vasant sir, please.
yeah. Just a minute. So, good evening, all. A very happy Ganesh Chaturthi, a season of festival and season of allergy. You can see. I know this is the season where there is the most needed chapter and most needed thing, that allergy prevention. I respected all allergy chapter chairman, secretary, and all the members of IAP. Greetings from Indian Academy of Pediatrics to my respected teacher, dear students, and my fellow colleagues. It's a matter of pride to stand here today as we launch this important initiative, the Allergy Smart School program. Under the Indian Academy of Pediatrics, childhood allergies are no longer rare. They are increasing in prevalence due to our changing lifestyle, urbanization, and environmental factor. If you will see tomorrow, there will be in Maharashtra. There's a Ganpati festival, and that incense stick, what is going to make a havoc. I am hopeful that tomorrow I am going to get a 2 to 3% of exacerbated asthma because of that incense stick. But it's our tradition. We are little bit helpless. But this allergy smart school is definitely going to make a change in this our lifestyle. I
Hello.
I can hello. Am I
Sir,
audible?
please continue, sir. Sir.
Uh, so I'm giving one example. My son was in a school, the Jain International. They just teacher don't burn incense stick because this is allergic, and he was opposing me like anything. On one Ganpati festival, we never had a incense stick in my house. So this is the thing. That's a school can teach anything. So we have to target school for that. So what is an allergy? Simply put, it is when our body defense system overreacts to something harmless. You know, overreacts is always harmful. So every day, substances such as dust, pollen, certain food like nuts, milks, or insect bite, or even cold air can trigger allergic reaction in children. This reaction can appear in many forms. You all know, nothing to tell: sneezing, coughing, itchy eyes, severe cases, life-threatening emergency like anaphylactic. Now, the good news is that allergies can be managed and often prevented with awareness and safe practices. School plays a crucial role here because children spend a major part of their day in this environment, and you know all what is the effect of environment, what is going happening in India because of environment, what is happening in adolescence because of environment. See, wherever we live, we learn that. Suppose I'm going in South, my accent is going to change. If I'm in Delhi, my accent is going to change. It's like the same thing. That is the impact of environment. Simple steps like keeping classroom dust free, creating peanut free zones, avoiding latex balloon, and ensuring children carry their prescribed medicine can save life. As pediatrician, our goal is to make every school an allergy smart school, a place where every child feels safe and cared for, parents, teacher, and student. So they must work together to identify triggers, practice good hygiene, avoid known allergens, and respond promptly to emergency. Our role is very important. We have to learn, teach the people. We have to empower our community. We have to make aware our community. And I know today's program that one flyer is going to come, which is very helpful. I request my all 49,000 members that please showcase this flyer in your clinic and always circulate to all your relatives, not those only suffering from allergy, but those who can teach other that how to prevent
You.
allergy. Let this program not only spread awareness but also empower you to take action. Together, we can create safer school, healthier children, and a generation that grows without the burden of preventer allergy disease. Then only we can serve this year's motto to take serve children, school, to serve children, colleagues, and community. I wish all the best to Allergy chapter for this innovative idea. Thank you once again for your attention and your cooperation and your commitment to child health. Jai Hind, Jai Hai.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your words of wisdom, and it really means a lot to us. So, on behalf of IAP Allergy and Applied Immunology chapter, myself, Dr. Neeraj Gupta, I am currently the chairperson of the chapter, and I would like to welcome all the participants, dignitaries, and all the school representatives. We are very fortunate that we have today Dr. Vasant Kalatkar, sir, which you are hearing now, who is currently the president of Central IAP. Central IAP means he is actually the president of 50,000 pediatricians across the country and even outside country also. So you can just imagine that how important is the initiative that a person of such a good stature, such a high stature, took out some time from his very busy schedule to spend with us about this initiative. So how important this initiative is. As sir has rightly mentioned that allergies are rising and they are bound to rise, especially in this part of the world, in India, among children. That could be respiratory allergy, that could be food allergies, that could be skin allergies. And we also understand that one third of the daytime the children are usually spending in the school, nearly 6 to 8 hours per day they are spending in the school. School is considered to be like a second home to a child. They are actually learning, living, eating, so many things they are doing in the school, that practically school makes a huge responsibility, comes under a huge responsibility. So that is why we need today Allergy Smart School. So Allergy Smart School is not an idea, it is not an innovation, it is the necessity, it is the need of the day, it is the need of the country. So Allergy Smart School, we aim with a goal that no child should suffer or feel unsafe at school just because of allergies. We want to spread awareness. We will be discussing a lot about that, and we would like to invite all of you to help us in achieving this goal. We want to spread the knowledge about the preventive steps, how one can prevent. We want to prepare ourselves, we want to prepare you, we want to prepare our children, we want to prepare our teachers, our parents for any untoward emergency, and we want to support you. And here comes the role of schools, because teachers are the first responders. They are the first responders during any allergy emergency, and that is why we need to really create allergy action plan. And on behalf of IAP Allergy and Applied Immunology chapter, I would like to promise you, and even Dr. Vasant has also said, that we all are with you, always with you, to help us to draft some customized allergy action plan for individualized school, for individualized child, for individualized person there. We want to build partnerships with the parents, with the school, and with all the healthcare professionals as well as for the children. And we just want that the environment should be safe enough. We want to reduce the absenteeism of the children from the school just because of allergies, reduce absenteeism of the teachers also just because of allergies. We want to empower staff, and we want to provide confidence to the parents. They can safely send their children to the schools without thinking, without worrying that, oh, what will happen to my child? Nothing will happen. He will be absolutely safe in the school, and promoting holistic child health learning without barriers. So I would once again like to thank our president, Dr. Vasant Kalatkar, sir, for spending some time with us. And we would like to start with this program today. And in this program, we are very fortunate that we have very learned people with us today. So the learned people, first of all, I would like to invite a very special guest today, Dr. P.K. Vedantan. Dr. P.K. Vedantan is one person who actually has joined us from Colorado, USA, just to initiate, just to propagate, just to motivate all of us for this initiative, very important initiative. Those who don't know Dr. Vedantan is one name. He is not only name, he is the force. He is, I will say, the entire army that he has actually created hundreds and thousands of people like us, hundreds and thousands of allergists, hundreds and thousands of doctors like us. So he is just considered to be like a godfather of allergy in this part of the world. I would just like to invite Dr. Vedantan sir for his blessings. Dr. Vedantan sir, please.
Can you hear me, Neeraj?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Good evening to all of you. I think that was a very exaggerated introduction by Neeraj. Thank you. So, anyway, I am very happy to be with you all. First of all, I want to congratulate the IAP chapter of the Indian Academy of Pediatrics initiating this very meaningful initiative. We talk about this in our classes for the last 2 decades, but now you are doing something real for our children in India. Now, few facts that we need to know. India is a very young country. Median age is only 28 years. China is around 40. USA is around 40. Japan is about 50. So India is a young country. So how many children we have in India? Roughly around 430 million children are there. So even if you estimate the prevalence of food allergy being low, you still have a couple of millions of children who are affected. But it is increasing because of the lifestyle, because of the way we are living, the way we are bringing up the children, what children are eating, what they are exposed to. It is increasing. So this is the perfect time for the academy or the chapter for you to intervene and educate. Now, how do you manage this issue? The best way to manage any type of issue is preventing. Prevention is the best way to manage. And how do you prevent this major issue that we are talking about? First is education. Only if you know, you are aware. If you do not know about something, you are not aware even if it is front of you. So for awareness, first thing you need to do is to educate. And you have to educate them to do some simple things, you know, because if you make it complicated, children will get bored, parents will not listen. So one of the few things we tell patients or our patients and all that, you just wash your hands before you eat your food. Just wash your hands with soap and water if you have a soap, not with the what we use, with this. What is that? Wash with the before. Now everywhere you go, these ammonia, whatever you use for COVID, that is that.
Sanitizer.
Pardon?
Sanitizer.
Sanitizer. Sorry, thank you for the word. The sanitizer has been found not to remove food allergens. It's a very important point. Don't assume that sanitizer will do everything. Sanitizer does not remove food allergens from your hands, but a simple wash with water and soap will remove it. And second thing they should do is just read labels. Third thing they should do is no sharing of food. I used to share food. I used to grab everybody's food in school and eat. No more of that type of stuff because you don't know what somebody's food has. And always be aware of this situation. Next thing to do with awareness is observation. Third thing is recognition and then management. We all know how to manage. But do the school staff know? Does the teachers know what is allergy, what to look for? Do the students know what to look for? Some students may be, depending upon the type of family they come from. So it is our duty, actually, a smart thing to do is go to the school like Neeraj did a couple of weeks ago. And I have done it a couple of times before, where you go and give a tour of the, give a talk on the school, not just stop with the talk, go into the kitchen, and take a tour of the eating facility, and you will find there are 10 different modifiable risk factors right there, and give them ideas how to handle it. That's a very important thing. Just going into the auditorium and talking is not enough. You have to enter the kitchen of the school and where the food is eaten. And that is very important. The second thing is, if you find an older kid with food allergy and he is a good speaker or a bright guy, what you should do is to empower him, because empower him or her to become a advocate of food allergy. So he is the one who's going to teach in the other children. So because if there are millions of children who are allergic, physicians cannot be expected to go and speak. So you need to produce teachers. The best teachers are the teachers with allergies. They are the best teachers because they have experienced it. So that is where what we call as a support group comes. Support groups are extremely effective, and patients support groups are much more effective. Are you able to hear? Because my Zoom is not
Yes, sir, we are
going
able to
on.
hear you. We are able to hear you.
Oh, good, good. And so, empowering children and parents is a good idea. Having like a periodical school allergy day is also another very good idea. And doing these type of issues will help you to educate in a fun way, because school looks like a very fun place, but we need to know school is a dangerous place. It has been shown in the US 25% of the anaphylactic reactions, systemic reactions occur in schools. 25% of the anaphylactic reactions occur in schools. So, all schools in the US have at least 50 to 100 epinephrine available inside the school. Inside, they order it. The school board orders it and gets a P. Every school has a P. So at least you should have some epi available at school, some antihistamines available at school, and some signboard showing certain things about allergies. This is something the school authorities can easily do, and this is something doable. And this should be a nationwide thing. It's not just Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, because you have food allergies even in the rural schools, okay, or semi-urban schools. So this is where what I would do with this initiative, and this is a fantastic initiative. I wish you all the best, and I'm sure it will be successful because you have incredibly motivated people at the helm, and they want to make a difference in the face of allergy in India. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. This is really motivating, and the words which is coming out from the horse's mouth, which actually helps us, and we can really understand, we can really push ourselves that whatever we are doing probably seems to be the right direction. And so, let me introduce you, my co-panelist. So we are very fortunate that we have been joined by so many people across the country and the learned experts, leading experts. So I would first like to introduce Dr. Vikram Patra. Dr. Vikram Patra is a leading pediatric allergist from Navi Mumbai. And welcome, Dr. Vikram. And then Dr. Vikram, you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah,
And
thank you very much.
and then we have Dr. Soumya Nagarajan with us. So Dr. Soumya Nagarajan is a leading pediatric allergist from Bangalore, having a great experience, and simultaneously she is also means like both of them. In fact, we all are actually parents also. We also have our children who are studying in the school, so we are very closely, you can say, like monitoring, relating all the symptoms. So welcome, Dr. Soumya, for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Neeraj.
And then we also have Ms. Rashmi Raj Biswal. She is Principal, DAV School, Pritampura, Delhi. So thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Madam Rashmi, ma'am, are you around? Rashmi, ma'am, are you around? Please unmute yourself if you are around. Anyway, so she will join soon. So let us start. Let us begin. So as Dr. Vedantan and Dr. Vasant has already spoken about that why we have initiated this concept. So we will be starting this a mutual interaction type of a thing. I would request all the participants, whether they are joined on Zoom or they have joined on the YouTube channel, to please write their queries, questions, whatsoever they feel into the chat box which is available, and then we will try to address as many as questions and probably all the questions during the webinar. So today we are going to discuss a very important new unique idea which is called as Allergy Smart School. Be smart, stay safe. And this idea is brought to you by IAP Allergy and Applied Immunology chapter. We are nearly 1,200 pediatricians across the country, over 1,200 pediatricians across the country who are having special interest in allergies. And we want to really make a difference. We want to really make an impact into the country and probably outside the country in our children's life. So let us begin. So the first question is that why we need this allergy smart school. So as I have already mentioned that schools play a vital role in ensuring a safe and healthy environment, and there are a growing number of children with allergies. We will be discussing that why this is happening today. And then there are so many environmental triggers and food triggers which are around us, they are surrounding us. So that is why this concept came, which is allergy smart school. So here in this concept, we are not targeting that we will be able to make you allergy free. We are not targeting that we can eliminate all the allergens, but we are aiming to minimize and manage the risk through awareness, through education, through cooperation among staff, parents, teachers, and students, as well as physicians and pediatricians. So, first of all, I would like to go to Dr. Vikram. Dr. Vikram, what do you think? What are allergies? Why we are talking so much about this? So what this term means? Few people feel that it is because of low immunity. Few people feel that it is because of probably some external factor. What do you think about it?
Uh, Thank you, Dr. Neeraj, and thank you, IEP Allergy Chapter, for giving the opportunity and coming out with such a beautiful and excellent initiative to create awareness for the allergy conditions at school level. Now, coming to this question, what are allergies? So basically, parents or people understand that their child is having some or the other problem which keeps coming, and they reach to the doctor saying that the fault is in their immunity. They ask for some medicines which can increase their immunity. So rather, when we talk about low immunity, a child will be suffering more of infections. Here we are talking about allergies. So allergies, if I say in a simple language, it's rather hyperimmunity. It is that your body is reacting to something against which your body should not. That means your body is producing antibodies against viruses and bacteria. It's okay. That is immunity. But what if the your body starts making antibodies? It starts fighting with the normal substances which are there around. So that is what is allergy. So our body mistakes a friend as a enemy.
So that means, Dr. Vikram, you want to say that a concept which is there, that means like low immunity means allergy. A child who is getting repeated cough and cold, a child who is getting repeated nebulizer, many a times parents feel, teachers feel, sometimes doctor also say that, oh, you are having low immunity or the child is having low immunity. That is why the problem is happening. So you want to say that it is not a low immunity problem. It is majority of the time the immunity is normal or even a little higher as compared to normal, but the understanding of immunity, the function of immunity is not normal. And that understanding, that misunderstanding or malunderstanding, in which a normal thing is also not taken as normal, and the immunity is considering even normal things in the surrounding as abnormal and trying to react against it. So wonderfully explained, Dr. Vikram. Thank you. Dr. Soumya, what are those things in the surrounding which we commonly called as allergen? So are they something which we can see, or are they something which we can't see? So what are the common things in the surrounding which are there?
Thank you. Thank you for the question, Dr. Neeraj. And I think very commonly when we see patients, they think that dust is the most common trigger. And we have to sensitize that triggers are different and allergens are different. So most of the times allergens are biological substances. We feel they are living substances which can possibly react with the immune system and cause an allergic reactions. For example, triggers when we talk about it could be incense stick, as Vasant sir was telling earlier, or it could be roadside dust, diesel smoke, which can definitely increase the suffering, which is already the child is having sensitive to. Very commonly, I think Vedantan sir also gives this example. If there is salt which comes in contact with the wound, salt per se is not the main causative factor, because the wound is already very raw and susceptible. So innocent triggers like this can increase. So we have to spread awareness that allergens indoor, very commonly when we talk about dust mites, they equate it to dust, which is not the same. We have to tell them these are microscopic organisms which feed on our dead skin. And very commonly, 50% of our patients have this positivity to dust mites. Pet dander. I think children are very closely associated with pets, especially if they're allergic. The dander or hair would cause molds. Most commonly, it need not be seen. It can be just smelled. Again, they cause increase in asthma symptoms. And pollens, most of the times, I think, even though pollen is there everywhere, in the context of industrialization, or when it comes in contact with diesel exhaust smoke, they causes allergies. And least but not the least, food. I think this is a common part of our day-to-day life. There are certain children who have food allergies on even accidental exposure. It can be life-threatening. So I think it's important to awareness about allergens and irritants.
Thank you, Dr. Somya. And you rightly mentioned about common triggers about pollution, smoke, and you beautifully explained the difference that what is the causative agent and what is the aggravating agent. So the causative agent is something which is actually harming us, or it is actually starting or triggering the reaction or starting the reaction, like dust mite or pet dander or mold or pollen. So it is something which is coming out from the living thing. Whereas if it is something which is coming out like a non-living thing, that could be pollutant or smoke or something like incense stick, and all these things, or cold air. So these things are there. So let's discuss about dust mite. Dr. Somya, can you please tell us that how small these dust mite are and where are they? Are they at your home, my home? And why should I be worried? Where are they?
Thank you for the question. So dust mites, I think they are less than 10 micrometers. I would say they are less than the breadth of our hair as well. The uniqueness is that we cannot see them through naked eye. The image which is displayed by Dr. Neeraj on the screen, those are under the microscope, electronic microscope magnified, where it is being magnified to a large extent that we can see them crawling around. And this is a universal allergen. It is there in my house, it is there in my clinic, it is there in the schools, it is there in everybody's home. And it is not that it is equivalent to the dust we see. The old dust can harbor dust mite, and they typically feed on our dead skin, and their droppings are highly allergenic. And they are very commonly found in our common places such as bedrooms, sofas, in children, especially in stuffy toys, furry blankets, carpets, among others. And very commonly, they contribute to our wheezing symptoms, eye allergies, and nasal allergies, nose allergies.
So that means you want to say that they are actually there everywhere practically. And everywhere means like wherever on the sofas and the blankets and the pillows and the carpets and everywhere, right? And they are so small that we cannot see them. And probably that might be the reason that whenever a person who is going for a, you can say like a sleep during the night time, and at that time the dust mite is so much there, and they are producing certain chemicals, certain allergenic substances which are coming and floating in the air, and the person is breathing that particular thing, and then he is getting some choking sensation in the night, unable to take a deep breath, having some coughing, early morning some sneezing, or some running nose, and then they feel that probably the child is having some toothbrush allergy, or child is having some problem when he is taking some bath. But actually it is majority of the time it is dust mite. And like dust mites are there every time of the season, or they are like some particular time period in which the symptoms are more, and some particular time period the symptoms are lesser. What do you think? What are the housing conditions which are really important, which increase the dust mite concentration?
So, as you rightly said, Dr. Neeraji, so I think it is there everywhere, universal. And more commonly, these are there throughout the year. And probably there is an increased seasonality, probably more during monsoons or winters, especially because we spend more time indoors. And humidity, relative humidity about 50% enhances the growth of the dust mite. So I think most of the times it is present throughout the year, where there could be a seasonal increase during these seasons.
So definitely, as you rightly mentioned, that means like entirely year means like the symptoms can be there, but during the rainy season. So this particular season, when we are talking right now, so probably July, August, September, this is the time in which allergies suddenly jump up. and the symptoms suddenly jump up. Many of the time, the clinics are now flooded with the exacerbation in the cough, exacerbation in the cold, exacerbation in the nasal symptoms, all these things. So these all seems to be, you can say, like probably related to dust mite. Dr. Vikram, Dr. Soumya briefly mentioned about pets. So what do you think? Pets are usually considered to be, you can say, like very close to children, very cute, some dog, some cat. So what do you think? What are like, what are these denders? What is this term called dender? Is it related to hair or it is something else?
Thank you. Basically, like dust mites, they are the living creatures which are there in the beddings and mattresses. Here now, when we talk about pet denders, it is their epithelia. It is their skin cells which are there and their furs. So basically, if a child is allergic to now, pets are there at every home, but not at every home which has got pets. They will have allergic issues. But again, as I mentioned, somebody they respond badly or hyper response is there against certain things, certain allergens. So that is what is allergy. Now, it is said that when we talk about cat and dogs, so cat allergy is more severe, and dog allergy is also there, but the severity wise, the cat allergy is severe because their furs they are very sticky. Now, if you uh, go out also, if you see a person who has got cat at his home, you can find out hairs or the denders or the hairs of the furs of the cat on their t-shirt or shirt or the dresses. So those are very sticky, and your body becomes more allergic to those allergens. Now, for dog, it is said that they are there in the house specific. Suppose a patient is having allergy to the dog. If they enter to the house where dogs are there, they will have problem. But if it is for the cat, even in a neighborhood also, if cat is there, a person may even have. So when we ask our patients, are you exposed to cats? And when we do some test, we may find out that cat allergy is there. So when we ask whether you have cat at home or dog at home, so they may say no, but still the patient is sensitized or having allergy to cat. So when we ask go deeper, we come to know some cat is there in their floor in the neighborhood, so nearby also. So that's why cat is relatively difficult or what you say more dangerous allergen if we say. And
So
then
very nice concept.
it does it mean that we should not have pets at home? Now, coming to that point, now there are studies. It is said that if a child is born in an environment where already pets are there, suppose the pets are there before pregnancy only, the child may not develop allergy. But if a patient has got tendency to develop allergy, and later on, after 1 year or 2 years or 3 years of age, if a new pet come to their home, the patient or the child may become allergic to the pets.
So Dr. Vikram very nicely pointed out. You told something that the cat allergen, especially the cat dander, seems to be very sticky. So it means you want to say that even if a cat which is roaming around on a carpet or somebody, and at that time the cat goes away, but the allergen or the dander still remains there. So you want to say that even a person who visits that home next day or probably few days later or few weeks later, still that particular person can develop the symptoms. Is it correct?
Yes, yes. Even after a few months, also the
Oh,
allergen will be found in that house or in that area. The patient
yes.
may still develop symptoms.
Yeah, so I remember one patient who came to me who was somewhere around 19-year-old adolescent who joined recently college. And he presented to me with some symptoms, with some nasal block, itchy nose, and breathing difficulty soon after joining the college. And when we tested him with allergy testing, then at that time the cat allergen came positive. I asked him that whether he was having cat, and he totally denied that he cannot recognize, he cannot remember that any cat exposure was there. But then on the next visit, when he came back, then he told that in the hostel where he has joined, 2 months back, some cats used to stay there, and now the cats are not there for past 2 months. But probably whatever you are saying, so that makes more sense to me now. That means that cat dander still remains stuck to there, and probably he is getting exposed. And that also brings to a very important point that suppose if some child or some family who is having cat at home and their child is carrying the cat dander on his clothes and passively transferring to another child, to his mate, to his friend, who is not knowing about that, and the parents of that particular child are not knowing, and that particular child might be having symptoms. So his symptoms, his nasal symptoms, chest symptoms will not get corrected. So this is a very important point which you said. Another important thing which I want to ask, so there is a common conception, or I will say a myth or a belief, that people feel that the long hair dogs or the long hair pets, they are more allergic as compared to the short hair pets. So what is your opinion about that?
Actually, it's a myth. Basically, that there is a big market on that. They say that hypoallergenic dogs or hyperallergenic or the more allergenic dogs are there, but it's not that. Even dogs or pets with smaller fur size also, they can we can be allergic to them also.
Right. So that's a very important thing. And you also mentioned that there is no hypoallergenic dog or no hypoallergenic cat. Is there any other pet which is also possible, or it is only story ends up till cat and dog only? Is there any other pet which you can
No,
say?
even I have seen a patient who had got rabbit allergy. So even
Wow.
rabbit also, a patient can have even allergy to rabbit also.
Right.
So yeah, so anything which is proteinaceous and exposed, our body might mistakenly consider them as enemy and can have allergy.
Even I would like to add on this. I just remember that 2 months back, one lady came to me with her child, and she told me that my child is having this cough, cold, and breathing problems, and all those things. I told her, okay, let us do some allergy testing. And then she suddenly said that, doctor, is it possible that my child be allergic to horse? I was like surprised that, do you have a horse at your home? Who means like keep horse at home? But do you have horse at home? But then she told, no, no, we don't have horse. But in our school, in the child school, there is a session on horse riding, and whenever the child is going for the horse riding, then at that particular time the symptoms are more, he's coughing more. And then when I tested the child, then at that time the horse tender came positive. So that means you rightly mentioned that actually anybody could be allergic to anything, and we need to be really, you can say, like practically having our eyes and ears open around. And Dr. Somya, what are your comments about some birds, like some parrots and some other birds which sometimes people keep as a, you can say, like as a pet at home? Can they also create some problem? Or in the busy apartment, sometimes the pigeons are there and then droppings are there. So do you think that they can also create some problem, or they are practically safe?
I think when we are talking about pets, danders or so, as you rightly said, the other spectrum could be rabbits, horse. It's also that pigeons, especially in the urban dwellings, and parrots when they have, because children like them. I think their feathers or droppings definitely can trigger our cough, wheezing tendencies, or nose allergies in the form of sneezing or nose block. It may not be an exact allergenic issue, but definitely they act as triggers for the increase in the uh, cough, cold, or the sneezing symptoms.
Right, absolutely right. So it is actually very important problem, very big problem. And the main thing is that many a times even child or the parents knows that the problem is because of pet, but many a times they do not disclose that to the doctor, because they know that the moment they will disclose, the doctor will say that remove the pet, and they do not want to do that. Dr. Somya, there is some comment about the fungal spores or the molds. So what are these fungal spores, and should we be worried? Are they present indoor or outdoor? Where are they?
So, thank you for the question, Dr. Neeraj. So, molds are a natural part of our environment where we see in mostly wet, damp areas, and they can be both indoor and outdoors. And it is not that sometimes our patients have wrong perception that as long as we touch the molds or we touch the animal dander, they could have problems. It can become airborne, and it is very much present in the air they breathe, or the eyes come in contact with. Basically, wherever there is more dampy area, it promotes the growth of molds. Common areas in our day-to-day setting we see, especially in the AC tanks, or if there is any water leakage on the walls, when especially indoor plants, when we water them beneath the water pots, we could have it, or in the bathrooms. So I think molds, most commonly, we discount them. The patients also discount them. It is important that there must be good cross ventilation also. And molds are definitely associated with an increase in asthma symptoms in the long run and more severity. And they are more prone for more severe symptoms requiring more medication and takes a little longer time to get it under control.
That means what I understand when you were speaking about dust mite and now you are speaking about mold, and both the conditions are more prevalent when there is more humidity, when there is more humidity, when there is poor sunlight. That means those houses, those indoor areas where the sunlight is not that proper, the ventilation is not that proper, even some leakage which is happening. So there, these areas are more, you can say, like allergic or allergy prone or allergenic. They are creating the environment in which the allergies are more, and then they are creating the issues. Dr. Vikram, your comments about pollens. Dr. Somya briefly mentioned about pollens. So just for the understanding of everything, everybody, that what are these pollens? This is my first question. The second thing is that many times many people have their own yard in which they are having their own plants, or they are having their pots with the plants. So what is your advice about that?
So now till now, whatever allergens we discussed, those are all indoor allergens, dust mites, pests, molds, and most of them they are perennial, means all throughout the year when we are exposed to them we will have having symptoms. So those patients who are allergic to the allergens what we discussed will have their symptoms, allergic problems all throughout the year. But now here when it comes to pollens, the pollens are in the flowering plants. So not the flowering plants as you mentioned in the balcony or in the veranda when we have flowering plants. So they are basically the attractive flowers. So their pollens basically gets transmitted by the bees. So insects they carry the pollens to each other and nearby. But the weeds, the grasses, their flowers are not attractive. There is no fragrance, so no insects get attracted to them. So basically their pollens they will be flying through the air. They will be transmitting or transporting through the air. They are called as airbornes. So these pollens basically where they are very small in size. When they enter through our respiratory system, so we will be having nasal problems or even the asthma symptoms.
So
So
let
basically, when we talk about pollen allergies, those are not the flowering plants; those are weeds, grasses, and some tree allergens. So tree allergens can be any tree which are nearby in our area. Also, we can have. For example, we can have allergy to. There are various plants actually. If I go to chilbil is one of the commonest tree which is found in our areas. So again, these pollens are different for different geographic region. Now, pollens in the northern Himalayan belt will be different. Pollens from the southern part of our country will be different. Pollens from the western, eastern, even the central part, the Delhi area, pollens will be different to different location.
So another important question here comes, that many a times patient ask us that, doctor, my child is having this cough and cold problem. You are saying that my child is having allergy or asthma. Should we relocate? Let's say that I relocate from Delhi to Mumbai, or I relocate from Delhi to Bangalore. So is my child going to, you can say, like, get lesser symptoms, or still the symptoms will be same? So what do you say about that?
So it's an important question. So generally, what we say now, when I mention about the different pollens in different areas, but there are some pollens which are there all throughout our country. For example, some grass pollens are there throughout the country. Now, first of all, we have to find out what all things they are allergic to. Now, now shifting, transferring, or changing the address may not help them because a patient has got allergic tendency. So now, if he is having allergy to one pollen, maybe after shifting there, he may develop allergy to other pollens also, which are prevalent in that area. So taking care of the personal care is more important than the changing the address.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is very well said. And now coming to some other questions, like Dr. Vedantan also mentioned, and briefly, I think Dr. Vasant Khaladkar also mentioned about some incense stick smoke. So, Dr. Somya, what do you think that these incense sticks, that could be your agarbattis, dhoop battis, or these incense sticks, or some other type of smoke, that could be your automobile smoke, or that could be even your cigarette smoke, BD smoke, any type of smoke. So do you really think that they are directly causing allergies, or they what they are doing actually?
So I think as our other panelists have definitely highlighted that pollution or the pollutants per se, they may not be the directive causative factor for increasing in the symptoms, but they can worsen allergies in many ways. I think one, they irritate the airways more, irritating airways more, because if they are not on continuous medications taking care of their symptoms being under control, they can make them more sensitive to other allergens we were speaking, like molds or pollens, as we were discussing earlier. And especially this industrialization or other diesel exhaust smoke, they trap the pollens and make them retain in the environment for a longer period of time beyond their pollination season also. As Dr. Vikram was telling, some are in the rainy season, some are there throughout the year, but this get retained in the environment for a little longer period of time, and they can potentially aggravate our respiratory symptoms. And also, because of the climate change we are seeing, and fueled by pollution, which are the greenhouse effect, what we call, can prolong the climate pollen season also. So longer exposure along with the irritants can make the airways more susceptible for more frequent airway irritation and symptoms, and thereby the child's quality of life is definitely affected.
So, like many a times, even patient comes to us and says that, doctor, as soon as we are entering in Delhi or we are residing in Delhi, then at that particular time our symptoms are more. And when we are moving towards other sides, could be hilly area or could be some other area, then at that time our symptoms are less. So, what is happening with this Delhi environment? So, it is not actually related to Delhi environment. It is their own body system. It is on their own respiratory, I will say, airways or the respiratory health, which is not optimal. And that is why the pollutants or the pollution is actually just aggravating the symptoms, but they are already having that inflammation, or I will say that pre-existing condition in them. And you rightly mentioned that I think they need, you can say, like treatment, optimal treatment. And would you like to just briefly explain what are these static sources of pollution versus the dynamic sources of pollution in the slide?
So thank you. So I think where the primary pollutants has been highlighted, these are the gases which are released from our industrial sources, such as factories or other waste burning, and also from the wildfires, or where we commonly use also for the firewood for heating water in various parts of the country, and cow dung exposure, the manure cakes are also made. And this, along with the diesel exhaust smoking, or they are retained in the environment, and they cause chemical reactions, and they trap the allergens such as pollutants or the pollens, as we were talking, and they cause increased prolongation of the pollen season, and making the airways more susceptible. And as you rightly said, Dr. Neeraj, even in Bangalore, it is common that people say that when we go back to Delhi, it is more better. As soon as we land in Bangalore, our child starts coughing, sneezing.
Yeah,
Again, I think it is common again to the industrialization also we see in our part of the country as well.
great.
So
Uh,
I would like to add, yeah. Generally, when you have already saying,
So just
yeah, please.
wanted to
Go
ask, means like this question actually comes to you only. So I
ahead.
want that you please explain this slide. And in this slide on the left hand side, these are the common sources of pollutant which everybody understands, everybody knows. And on the right hand side, these are the hidden solution, hidden problem, hidden in the sense that they are very much there, but the dangers or the hazards are not recognized. So I would like to request you to please explain these.
Yeah. So whatever now pollution and environmental triggers we discussed about, and as Dr. Somya also mentioned, so when we put salt on our normal skin, we will not be having burning sensation. But when our respiratory passage, right, from nose to the lungs, when they are damaged or having inflammation because of some allergens, so these pollutions and these things are irritating it and increasing the problem. And that's why Delhi people, Bangalore people, or Mumbai people, all these metropolitan people, they know what's the problem with all these pollutions. Now, to what I explained to my parents, patients' parents, that outside pollution is not under our control. But at least what about indoor pollution? Now, as you rightly mentioned, cigarette smoking, cigar smoking, hookah, and all these things, we know this causes harm, and we think and we correlate all these things with old age cancers, lung cancers, and but all these things even cause increase in the problem. So now here, now a child, when we are talking about children, we may not expect them to have a cigarette. But here, if parents, if they smoke, and when we ask whether the child is getting exposed to cigarette smoke, parents may say no, he is not getting exposed. So when we go into deeper, they say, yeah, we smoke. Parents, they smoke. But they say that they don't smoke in front of the child. They smoke outside. But here we say that even if you smoke outside the home also, those smoke particles there are there in your respiratory passage. They are there on your clothes. And when you come to contact with an allergic child, you are going to create problem. So those are all problematic. Everyone knows. Now coming to the right hand side, whatever images are there. Now the festive season is coming. Now we have here Ganpati festival. Tomorrow I am worried. So and tomorrow we are going to have all this puja home and everything at our home. Now Durga Puja will come, Diwali will come. So now all these pujas. Now when we talk about agarbatti and when we talk about dhoop. So when we say agarbatti, it emits around smoke of around 10 to 20 cigarettes. And when we talk about dhoop, it emits cigarette of approximately 50 cigarettes. Now you can imagine you are protecting your child from cigarette and other smokes and pollution outside your home, but here inside we are exposing them to so much level of the smoke. So these are under our control. We can. So I say आपको भक्ति करना है, आप दिया लगा लीजिए, अगरबत्ती वगैरह को दूर रखिए.
So this is very important thing which you have just highlighted. And many a times you ask parents, and then somebody is smoking at home, nobody is smoking, and then you ask that, okay, are you using some agarbatti and dhupbatti? How religious are you? Majority of the time, the people say yes, that we are using, or grandmother is using, or somebody is using, and then sometimes they have a excuse, in the sense that, okay, the puja ghar is in the side, or the child is seldom going there, or going once a day, or something like that. But you rightly mentioned that all types of smoke, whether it is a first hand smoke, somebody is smoking directly; second hand smoke, somebody is smoking in front of the allergic patient; or the third hand smoke, somebody smoked outside, came inside once again. So all are bad, all are bad, all are detrimental, all are bad. Dr. Somya, what is your comment about this picture? What do you see here in the picture?
So, this is the mother who's being directly exposed to the firewood, biomass fuel, what we call. So, very commonly seen in our rural areas, where it is used as a source of energy for cooking or heating water for domestic purposes. And as Dr. Vikram and Dr. Neeraj were discussing earlier also, not even the dhoop or the incense stick, even the direct exposure to this smoke, biomass fuel, what we call, it is also very intensely irritating to the airways. And if not the children who may be directly be near, but they're in the same environment where they are also exposed to in the same environment. And this definitely is equivalent to many number of cigarettes. And this also predisposes them for very sensitive airways and more frequent at risk for respiratory allergies.
Absolutely. So this is called as biomass fuel. So like out of nearly 145 crore Indians, it is considered that two-thirds of our population is still living in the rural area. And in the rural area, this biomass fuel, that could be wood burning, charcoal burning. Charcoal burning is now practically out, but wood burning is there. Sometimes kerosene burning, and sometimes even other different type of biomass fuels like cow dung, which is very commonly used, and this is producing so many toxic substances, so many things which are probably equivalent to nearly 100 cigarettes or more than that. And this is really, really, really troublesome. Even at our homes also, like you and me, whenever somebody is cooking with some oily things like parathas and all those things, you might see that the visible fumes are there, and you cannot really, you can say, like, even have a clear vision in that particular smoke which is there. So that particular smoke is going inside us, inside the child. And there is a concept, Dr. Vikram, would you like to elaborate on lung age? So there is a concept which is called as lung age, in which the child, as he is growing, then the lungs are growing and the lungs are gradually aging, as compared to another child where he is getting smoke, exposed to smoke, any type of smoke. Then what is happening to their lung functions as they are growing? So would you like to explain about that?
Yeah, before explaining this, I would like to go to a traditional thing. Now, एक कहा जाता है कि हमारे ब्रेथ काउंट्स फिक्स्ड है. सो आप कितना ब्रेथ लेने वाले हो थ्रू आउट लाइफ टाइम में ये फिक्स्ड है. सो दैट्स वाई हमारा जो ओल्ड कंसेप्ट है योगा मेडिटेशन और प्राणायाम, सो दोज आर वेयर वी आर taking long breaths, we are preserving our breaths so that we can stay longer and we can live longer, and so that our lung aging will be delayed. So if we are exposed to all these pollutions, and definitely the age maturity or aging of the lungs will be faster, and that will affect the quality of the life. Now, if you ask me to run in front of an adolescent, I will be staying far away. He will run because my lungs are mature enough or aged enough as compared to a teenager's age, lungs, because his lungs, his stamina will be more than my lung stamina. So similarly, so if we are exposed to the pollution, our lung stamina, in a simple word, our lung stamina is going down. So that will definitely affect our lifespan also.
Yeah, so this is like the picture of Diwali, and I think we are, you can say, like trying to stop all these things. We have seen so many incidences, so many patients near around Diwali, after Diwali, with so many problems. So we have seen that, and fortunately in Delhi, now government has taken very strict ban on all the crackers, and I'm sure that everybody else will also take, even all the states will also take this thing. So before we jump to the next question, I would like to invite Rashmi ma'am. So Rashmi ma'am is the principal to DAV school, Pritampura in Delhi. Rashmi ma'am, you are welcome.
Sir, thank you so much for the welcome. My profound apologies. I was in an absolutely no network zone and I just couldn't connect. It's only now I could connect back.
No, ma'am, but that
My
is absolutely
faculty, I
fine.
can see many of them sitting here. So I suppose whatever has been discussed will be beneficial, will be communicated to all of us, and we'll be communicating it further to other people also.
Great, ma'am. Great. And even whatever link we have shared with you people, so this link will always remain live. This is a YouTube link, so you can share this link to anyone later on. Also, this is pre-recorded, and this session will always remain there. So you can always listen to it once again later on. So there is nothing which is missed. I
Right.
would like to request everyone to please mute themselves. That will be better, so that we can continue with the session without any hindrance. So my request to everyone is to mute themselves. Yes. So now we are coming to a very important section, which is about food allergies. Food allergy is something which is food is considered to be very essential for life. I personally feel that food is something which is changing in the sense like 3 decades back, 4 decades back, our food habits were different. Nowadays, our food habits are different. The food, how it is cultivated, how it is processed, how it is made, manufactured, cooked, everything is getting, you can say, like changed. So one human being is changing, environment is changing, and food itself is changing, and that change itself is bringing a lot of new things. So I would like to come back to Dr. Somya, and I would like to say that Dr. Somya is the best person in the country. She is considered to be the food allergy specialist or the mistress of food allergy in India, and who, you can say, like solves every difficult case of food allergy whatsoever existing, at least in this part of the country. And very fortunate that she is with us today on this panel. So Dr. Somya, what do you think that these changing habits over past 3-4 decades about food production, food processing, cooking, so where are we going, where this food is going, what is happening now?
Thank you, Dr. Neeraj. I think that's a little exaggeration also. But the food, I think, as you rightly said, it's an essential part of life. I think where the concept that we were closer to nature and we were using more of our traditional cooking methods and we were exposed to that food. And when we talk about somewhere where we are telling that the food we are eating is causing an actual allergic reactions, people are not ready to accept that. It is mainly basically as we are moving away from our traditional lifestyles. As you said, we are becoming probably a little more indoor people. We are not having more of nature exposure, and we are more eating out of our packets or pre-cooked foods, and we are more exposed to our food additives or preservatives. I think all of this factors come into role where we are seeing an increased rise of food allergies even in our country also. I think where even at least about 10 years or 15 years back, the incidence of food allergies were negligible or not at all very much prevalent in our country. We have definitely seen increased rise of food in our practice. Basically, as you rightly said, allergies occur when our immune system unmistakably treats it as abnormal or foreign to oneself. Food allergies are also the same. But for us, I think because other things are environmental triggers where we are exposed, but these are the foods we are actually eating also. And children, when unknowingly, if they're exposed, even accidentally, even without knowing that the food they are allergic to is in the food they are having, it can cause very severe reactions. It could be mild, like with rashes, to even vomiting, abdominal pain, but it can be life-threatening also. So I think that is where the awareness about food allergies, especially in our school settings, is utmost of importance.
So are there any particular foods or few foods which you'd like to probably say that these seems to be having more allergic potential or one needs to be more aware about them, or all the foods are having similar allergic potential?
The slide which has been displayed on the screen right now, I think they are called the topmost nine major allergens across the world. Contrary to the belief that many foods we are having much allergies, there are only handful of foods such as milk, egg, nuts, such as cashew, almonds, among others, or fish, shellfish, and wheat. In some patients, soybeans. So they can cause food allergies, but we are also seeing that in India, the milk is topmost, the causative factor of food allergies. But in our country also, we have, because of varied food variations, even within our country, we see allergies to chickpea, like chana dal, what we see, and some lentils or rice also. But by far, these are the top 9 food allergens across the world, and this also holds good to our country as well.
So, let me mute people. Just give me a second. Yeah. So there is a common, I will say, concept, or there is a common myth or belief whatsoever, that people consider that whenever somebody is having some cough and cold, then at that time you should not take banana. So banana is considered to be, you can say, like something which is creating a lot of issues. So what are your comments about this banana, or probably curd? So what do you think about this curd and banana concept?
Very unique and very common in our practice. We see that children who are on respiratory issues, cold and cough, they're off these foods, especially bananas, guavas, curds, as you rightly said. Sometimes citrus fruits also. I think these are the foods which are not commonly causing direct food allergies, but the food per se may be a little more rich in containing substances which naturally may cause allergies. So when I eat a banana, there may be a little kitch in my throat, or some uncomfortable feeling, but after that it would definitely go away. So generally in our practice, I think it is important to educate our patients or parents that these are not directive causative factors of the respiratory allergies, and we shouldn't be telling them to be avoiding in their day-to-day life also. Probably avoid them when they are not well, but otherwise they are not the common foods which causes respiratory symptoms alone. I say when they eat the food, पहले contact gut में जाता है, stomach में जाता है. So usually the symptoms must start from there. It may be more of gastrointestinal manifestations such as vomiting, abdominal pain, diarrhea, along with the skin rashes. which are the more commoner symptoms in food allergies. Whereas the respiratory symptoms, if somebody is prone for respiratory symptoms, their symptoms can worsen when they're exposed to it. But predominantly only causing respiratory symptoms, it may not be the food which may be the actual causative factor.
So I think you have rightly mentioned. So Dr. Vikram, are you with us?
Yeah,
Dr. Yes.
I'm there.
So yes, so like this slide, we will be now briefly coming up, you can say like to the symptoms, common symptoms in a very common language so that the people understand. So what do you understand with this allergic rhinitis? So the common term, the people say nazla. So nazla हो जाता है या बार बार जुकाम हो जाता है. तो what are the common features and you understand that okay किसी को पता चले कि okay ये symptoms हैं तो इन symptoms को हमें समझना चाहिए कि ये नाक की एलर्जी हो सकती है और डॉक्टर के पास में जाना चाहिए, सोचना चाहिए. What do you think about that?
तो सो एलर्जिक राइनाइटिस टर्म ये लेके कभी हमारे पास कोई आता नहीं है. सो बहुत बार कॉमनली जो कहते हैं कि बच्चे की सर्दी जाती ही नहीं है. सो इसकी सर्दी कभी भी नहीं जाती है. ऑल थ्रू द ईयर सर्दी ज्यादा रहती है या बारिशों में सर्दी बढ़ जाती है. सो व्हेन वी आस्क कि सर्दी का मतलब क्या सिम्टम्स आप बताना चाहोगे. सो बेसिकली द फर्स्ट सिम्टम जो हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं वो है स्नीजिंग, छींके आना, लगातार छींके आते रहती है. वो फर्स्ट सिम्टम्स है. दूसरा, कुछ बच्चों में स्नीजिंग ना हो सकता है उनके नाक बंद रहते हो. सो हमेशा नाक बंद रहता है, नाक खींचते रहेंगे, ऐसा आवाज करते रहेंगे. कुछ लोगों को नाक में इरिटेशन होता है कुछ बच्चों में. सो वो कंटिन्यूअसली नाक को ऐसा रब करते रहेंगे, नाक को इस तरह रब करते रहेंगे. एंड देन कुछ लोगों को जस्ट वो सेक्रेशंस तैयार होते रहते हैं तो कंटिन्यूअस रनी होता है तो नाक बहते ही रहती है. कुछ लोगों को सामने की तरफ बहता नहीं है, पीछे की तरफ बहता है, तो जिससे की वजह से गले में इरिटेशन रहने की वजह से वो इस तरह का आवाज, व्हाट वी कॉल इट एज हॉकिंग, ये इस तरह की आवाज क्रिएट करते. तो इस तरह दीज आर द डिफरेंट सिम्टम्स. एंड मोस्टली जो बहुत बार ऑब्जर्व नहीं किया जाता है पेरेंट्स के द्वारा, बच्चा स्नोर करता है क्या रात में. सो बहुत बार माउथ ओपन करके सोता है, सो माउथ ब्रीदिंग करता है या थोड़ा स्नोरिंग का आवाज आता है. सो बहुत बार अगेन यहाँ पे भी हम जब व्हेन वी आस्क क्वेश्चन डिनाइल में रहते हैं. सो मैं क्या कहता हूँ कि आप एसी फैन बंद करिए, बच्चा जब डीप स्लीप हुआ रहेगा एक वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करिए. So mobile में even the smallest sound gets captured and we can see visualize how much the mouth opening is there.
और कई बार ऐसा होता है कि जैसे पेरेंट्स कई बार बताते हैं कि हमारे बच्चे को जो नज़ला है वो छाती में चला जाता है. शुरू होता है कोल्ड से और उसके बाद में फिर खांसी बन जाती है और कोल्ड तो ठीक हो जाता है 2-4 दिन में, लेकिन खांसी चलती रहती है, पसलियाँ चलती रहती हैं, डॉक्टर बार-बार नेबुलाइज़ लिखते रहते हैं, इन्हेलर लिखते रहते हैं. तो ये क्या है? ये क्या दमा है, अस्थमा है, क्या है ये?
तो बेसिकली जब हम बात करते हैं कि सर्दी छाती में चलेगा, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम वायरल इन्फेक्शंस में भी इस तरह के सिम्टम्स दिखेंगे कि नाक शुरुआत में थोड़ा सा नजला रहेगा एंड देन 1 या 2 दिन में खांसी चालू हो जाएगा. और जिनको एलर्जी टेंडेंसी है या एस्मा टेंडेंसी है उनमें पसली चलने लगेगा, छाती उड़ने लगेगा. सो उसको हम लोग वीजिंग कहते हैं या फास्ट ब्रीदिंग ब्रेथलेसनेस होता है. सो बट वायरल इन्फेक्शन और इनमें क्या डिफरेंस होगा. वायरल इन्फेक्शन में ज्यादा सिम्टम्स 7 दिन 10 दिन तक रहेंगे, बच्चा ठीक हो जाएगा. हो सकता है मैं ज्यादा करके जो स्मॉलर बच्चे हैं, 5 साल के नीचे के बच्चे, 6 साल के नीचे के बच्चों में बेसिकली हम देखते हैं कि हर 15 दिन में, महीने में सर्दी खांसी उनको होते रहता है. साल भर में 10-12 बार होता है. लेकिन क्या ये एस्मा है या एलर्जी है, तो हम एक ही चीज पूछते हैं कि बच्चा जब ठीक हो जाता है कितने दिन में ठीक होता है, और जब ठीक हो जाता है पूरी तरह से ठीक रहता है या थोड़ा बहुत सिम्टम्स रहते हैं. सो थोड़ा बहुत सिम्टम्स का मतलब मैं क्या जानना चाहता हूँ कि जब ये वायरल इन्फेक्शन हर किसी को हो सकता है, नॉर्मल बच्चे को भी हो सकता है, जिनको एलर्जी एस्मा है उनको भी हो सकता है. तो जिनको एलर्जी एस्मा है उनमें सिम्टम्स ज्यादा दिन तक लंबा खींचेगा, 10 दिन से ज्यादा रहेगा एंड पूरी तरह से ठीक होगा ही नहीं. उनके पेरेंट्स को आप पूछेंगे बच्चा हफ्ता 2 हफ्ता अच्छा था, तो बोले नहीं पूरी तरह अच्छा नहीं था, रोने पर भी खांसता है, थोड़ा भागने पर दौड़ने पर खांसता है. तो टीचर्स के लिए ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है. If a child starts coughing during PT period or sports period and all throughout the child remains normal, ये भी एक एस्मा का सिम्टम्स है. नॉट नेसेसरली कि उसको दम लगे, उसको तसली मारे, उसे सिर्फ भागने दौड़ने पर ही खांसी होता है. तो बहुत बार इमोशनल एक्टिविटीज, बच्चा रो रहा है, रो रो के बहुत खांस रहा है, इवन इमोशनल ट्रिगर्स में भी बच्चा खा सकता है, इवन वो भी अंडरलाइंग एस्मा हो सकता है. ऐसे बच्चों के लिए टीचर्स ने, पेरेंट्स पीटीएम में पेरेंट्स को ये नोटिफाई करना चाहिए. हो सकता है पेरेंट्स, आजकल के बच्चे स्कूल में जितना होता है बाकी टाइम घर पे ही बैठे रहते हैं, सो ये जो एक्सरसाइज की वजह से जो खांसी उठती है वो पेरेंट्स हो सकता है नोट नहीं करे. एज ए टीचर्स आप लोग ये नोट कर सकते हो और ये पेरेंट्स को आप बता सकते हो.
तो बिल्कुल ठीक आपने जैसे डॉक्टर विक्रम बताया कि जैसे जो अगर हम देखें स्क्रीन के अंदर भी कि राइट साइड में सांस की नली का एक डायग्राम फोटो एक इमेज है, जिसमें जो पहला डायग्राम है वो नॉर्मल सांस की नली है। जो दूसरा डायग्राम है उसके अंदर सांस की नली का साइज थोड़ा सा पतला हो गया है, सूजन आने लगी है। और तीसरे डायग्राम के अंदर सांस की नली एकदम से बिल्कुल चोक हो गई है, सिकुड़ गई है, जहाँ पे बच्चे को सांस ही नहीं आ रहा है। तो मेजोरिटी ऑफ द टाइम, मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ टाइम पे ये जो एलर्जिक बच्चे होते हैं, एस्थमेटिक बच्चे होते हैं, इनकी सांस की नली ये बीच वाली पोजीशन में होती है। और बस वो इंतजार कर रही होती है कि कोई उनको ट्रिगर मिले। ट्रिगर हो सकता है उनको किसी तरीके का स्मोक मिले, थोड़ी ठंड लग गई तो मिल गया उनको, किसी तरीके का नजला हो गया तो मिल गया उनको। और उसके बाद उनको खांसी शुरू होती है, ब्रीदिंग डिफिकल्टी शुरू होती है, पसलियां शुरू होती हैं, और डॉक्टर्स के पास नेबुलाइजर इनहेलर करना पड़ता है। एक बहुत अच्छी बात बताई आपने, कैसे पता चले कि वायरल इन्फेक्शन है कि एलर्जी है। तो वायरल इन्फेक्शन अधिकतर, ज्यादातर परिवार में एक से अधिक लोगों को एक साथ में होता है, क्योंकि वायरल इन्फेक्शन एक से दूसरे में होता है, लेकिन एलर्जी एक से दूसरे में नहीं फैलती। एक और इंपॉर्टेंट चीज भी है कि वायरल इन्फेक्शन अक्सर बुखार के साथ आता है। एलर्जीज जो होती है उसमें अक्सर बुखार नहीं होता, पर कई बार अगर एलर्जी लंबे समय चल जाए तब दोबारा इन्फेक्शन होने की वजह से भी बुखार आ सकता है। कभी कभी आंख की एलर्जी भी सामने आती है, और आंख की एलर्जी जो है वो नाक की एलर्जी के साथ अक्सर जुड़ी होती है, जिसमें आंखें अक्सर लाल हो जाना, आंख से पानी बहना, बच्चा आंख को मलते रहना, ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है। और कई बार खुजली आंख के अंदर बताता है, पानी चलता रहता है, ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है। और आंख की और नाक की एलर्जी जो है आपस में जुड़े हुए होते हैं। डॉक्टर सौम्या, आपने हालांकि बताया फूड एलर्जी के बारे में, तो थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कीजिए कि ये फूड एलर्जी के कॉमन लक्षण क्या है, कॉमन सिम्टम्स क्या है।
तो खाने के बहुत जल्दी, मिनटों में या 2 घंटे के बीच में तो ये सिम्टम्स डेवलप हो सकते हैं। तो बच्चों में बहुत सारे, आई मीन वी सी वेरी कॉमनली दैट इवन व्हेन चिल्ड्रन शेयर फूड विथ देयर पियर्स, और कोई बच्चों से आई मीन ऐसे स्नैक टाइम में चेंज ओवर हो जाता है, अननोइंगली इफ दे आर एक्सपोज टू द फूड दे आर एलर्जिक, फॉर एग्जाम्पल मिल्क, खाते ही बहुत जल्दी मिनटों में, सो दे कैन जस्ट uh, start getting itching in the mouth. Their lips can swell up. There can swelling of the tongue which can happen, which can cause difficulty in breathing. They can have very commonly itchy rashes. जो आई मीन रैशेस शुरू हो जाते हैं, जो बहुत सारे इचिंग रहते हैं, एंड वॉमिटिंग या नॉजिया सेंसेशन रहती है, पेट दर्द रहता है, डायरिया हो सकता है, एंड द वेरी सिवियर स्पेक्ट्रम जो हम बहुत सारे, आई मीन वी आर मोर ड्रेडिंग इज द सिवियर एलर्जिक रिएक्शन। बहुत रैपिडली इस सिम्टम से डिजीनेस होना, नहीं तो गिर जाना, ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है जो लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग भी हो सकता है। तो इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट दैट वी आर अवेयर ऑफ फूड एलर्जीज एंड how we can respond in emergency for these patients. And sometimes also these there may be children having sensitive skin, and they may get this rashes, especially on seasonal exposure or on exposure to certain food allergies also. Dr. Neeraj.
ये बहुत अच्छा आपने बताया, और कई बार हमने ऐसा देखा है कि एलर्जी अपना रूप बदलती है, एलर्जी अपना स्वरूप बदलती है। बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि बच्चों के अंदर जैसे चमड़ी की एलर्जी, जैसे कुछ दाद या कुछ एक्जिमा टाइप की प्रॉब्लम जो आपने बताया, जिसको डॉक्टर साहब कई बार डर्मेटाइटिस या एक्जिमा कहते हैं, वो शुरू में आ जाती है, और उसके बाद में 2-3 साल में वो ठीक होने लगती है। लेकिन उसके बाद बच्चे को सांस की प्रॉब्लम आनी शुरू हो जाती है, जैसे डॉक्टर विक्रम ने भी बताया, उसको नेबुलाइजर इनहेलर की जरूरत पड़ती है। फिर जब वो थोड़ा सा ठीक होने लगता है, बच्चा लगभग 6ठी 7वीं क्लास में 8वीं क्लास तक जाता है, तो नाक की नजले की एलर्जी जो है वो उसको आने लगती है। तो ये एलर्जी जो है ये अपना स्वरूप भी बदलती है। और अगर देखा जाए तो कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ कॉमन लिंक है, जो हमने पहले बताया कि उनका इम्यून सिस्टम जो है वो ढंग से काम नहीं करता। और एक बहुत अच्छी चीज आपने बताई कि एलर्जी जो है वो लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग भी हो सकती है, वो जीवन के लिए खतरनाक भी हो सकती है। तो ये सिर्फ इतनी माइल्ड चीज नहीं है जितना कि हम बात कर रहे हैं कि चलो ठीक है थोड़ा खांसी हो गई, चलो ठीक है थोड़ा भाग नहीं पाया तो थोड़ा आराम कर लिया। जैसे आपने बताया कि कभी कभी ये जानलेवा भी हो सकती है। तो इसके लिए इसको समय पर रिकॉग्नाइज करना, इसको समय पर पकड़ना, ये बहुत जरूरी है, और समय पे इलाज करना बहुत जरूरी है। और इससे एक और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज आती है। कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि बच्चे जो हैं वो कोई उनको डॉक्टर ने इनहेलर या कोई दवा जो है वो प्रेस्क्राइब किया है, लेकिन पेरेंट्स किसी कारण की वजह से कम्युनिकेट नहीं करते, टीचर्स को बताते नहीं कि इनको ये मेडिसिन जो है वो बताई गई है जो रेगुलर लेनी है। या अगर बच्चे को कभी बीच में प्रॉब्लम आ जाए तो उस समय के ऊपर उनको ये इमरजेंसी में मेडिसिन देनी है। या कभी कभी बच्चा खुद सेल्फ कॉन्शियस होके उसको लगता है दिमाग में कि भाई अगर मैं ये इनहेलर लूंगा यहाँ पे तो मेरे जो बाकी साथी हैं मेरा मजाक उड़ाएंगे, दे विल मेक ए फन ऑफ मी, एंड अल्टीमेटली उसकी अपनी तबीयत जो है उससे बिगड़ जाती है। तो ये जो एक बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, ये जो एक सोशल टैबू है, इस सोशल टैबू से हमें बाहर आना है। और एक बच्चे को जब एक जरूरत है, वो जो एक जरूरत का समय है, उस जरूरत के समय के अंदर उसको समझ के उसको उस जरूरत को मदद करना है। जैसे डॉक्टर वेदांतन ने कहा कि ये बच्चे अपनी प्रॉब्लम के एडवोकेट बन सकते हैं। कोई किसी को फूड एलर्जी है और अगर वो बच्चा जो है उसको हम थोड़ा सा रोप इन करते हैं, उसको थोड़ा सा प्रोत्साहित करते हैं, उसको कहते हैं, उसको बताते हैं, और वो अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स को बताना शुरू करता है, दूसरे बच्चे को लगता है कि हाँ मुझे भी ऐसी प्रॉब्लम थी, तो वो बच्चा भी खुल के सामने आता है, और इस तरीके से हम एक नेटवर्क क्रिएट कर सकते हैं। तो डॉक्टर विक्रम, ये जो सारी बातें अभी हमने बताई, तो क्या कुछ थोड़े से टिप्स आप देना चाहेंगे हमारे टीचर्स को, स्टूडेंट्स को, सभी को, कि किस तरीके से बचाव करें, क्या करना चाहिए?
राइट, जैसे अभी डस्ट माइट्स की अगर एलर्जी है तो जनरली वो इंडोर घर के एनवायरनमेंट में होता है। सो बेडरूम में डस्ट माइट मेजर्स हम पेरेंट्स को भी काउंसिल करते हैं किस तरह हम लोग डस्ट माइट से बच सकते हैं। स्कूल लेवल में हम क्या कर सकते हैं, बेसिकली जब बच्चे स्पोर्ट्स एक्टिविटी से आते हैं तो प्रॉपरली हैंड वॉश, फेस वॉश एनकरेज करना चाहिए। जो बाहर के एलर्जेंस उनके हैंड के थ्रू, फेस के थ्रू आए होंगे वो एटलीस्ट वॉश ऑफ हो जाए। बेसिकली स्कूल लेवल में जैसे डॉक्टर वेदांतन सर ने कहा कि मोस्ट ऑफ द एनाफाइलेक्सिस से लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग एलर्जिक इशू जो होता है वो स्कूल्स में होता है। सो बेसिकली फूड ट्रिगर्स, डॉक्टर सौम्या ने आपको बताया कि किस तरह के कौन से फूड आइटम है। नॉट नेसेसरली कि सभी को इन चीजों से हो, किसी ना किसी को इन चीजों से हो सकता है। एंड आप सब चीज जानते हैं कि बच्चे एक दूसरे से टिफिन शेयर करते हैं। सो बेसिकली बच्चों के पेरेंट्स ने टीचर्स को बताना जरूरी है। बहुत से स्कूल में हम लोग जब स्कूल सर्टिफिकेट्स पे साइन करते हैं एनुअल हेल्थ चेकअप के, तो उसमें एलर्जीज का एक क्वेश्चन रहता है। वो बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं स्कूल वाले जो पूछ रहे हैं हर बच्चे को। तो पेरेंट्स का जिम्मेदारी बनता है कि उन्होंने वो बताना चाहिए कि कौन सा फ्रूट्स है, फूड से एलर्जी है उनको। सो टीचर्स ने बेसिकली इंश्योर करना है कि जिन बच्चों को जिनसे एलर्जी है वो सेपरेटली खाना खाए, या किसी दूसरे बच्चे का टिफिन शेयर हो और उसमें वो फूड इंग्रेडिएंट हो तो प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है। सो और पर्सनल आइटम्स, अगेन टॉवेल्स एंड ये स्नीजिंग, एलर्जी स्प्रेड नहीं होते लेकिन जर्म्स डेफिनेटली स्प्रेड होते हैं। एंड पेट्स, अभी पेट्स एलर्जी हम बोलते हैं कि घर पे पेट्स है, इवन स्कूल प्रीमाइसेस में भी पेट्स ना हो, इस चीज का इंश्योर करना चाहिए।
डॉक्टर सौम्या, कुछ ऐड करना चाहेंगे कि स्कूल में स्टूडेंट्स के लिए क्या और सेफ्टी मेजर्स एडअप किए जा सकते हैं?
सो जैसे डॉक्टर विक्रम ने बता रहे थे और अभी सर भी बता रहे थे कि वॉशिंग हैंड्स इज वन थिंग, डेफिनेटली आई वुडंट वांट टू रिपीट इट, बट ऑल्सो इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट दैट वी सेंसिटाइज अदर चिल्ड्रन ऑल्सो रिगार्डिंग अदर एलर्जी सिम्टम्स। इट इज समटाइम्स, आपने भी जिक्र किया कि जब इनहेलर देते हैं तो इट इज अ लिटिल काइंड ऑफ स्टिग्मा फॉर देम टू यूज इनहेलर्स इवन इन द स्कूल if they have to use it, and they feel that they will be at the subject of mockery from their peers, and they do not want to do it. They prefer having more symptoms or than using inhalers. I think it's also sensitized not only as the teachers or the children with allergies. We have to sensitize about the preventive measures. I think it's also important to sensitize our other students or children also when best they can help their friends also when they are having probable allergy symptoms. Especially when we talk about food allergies, even when I go to schools and talk about it, we also create awareness that create this free zones where foods contamination, cross contamination nahi ho sakta hai. Canteen, be sure they're making sure that the same containers are not used, or read the labels properly, and also we educate the teachers and the other students also about probable allergy symptoms. And if they feel that they are allergies, they have to get it to the notice of their teachers, and prompt medical attention is also given to those students.
यस, एंड बिल्कुल आपने सही कहा, और कुछ चीजें जो हैं वो स्कूल टीचर्स के लिए और एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर्स के लिए भी हैं, जो हम समझते हैं कि आजकल के जो मॉडर्न स्कूल्स हैं, वी अंडरस्टैंड दैट दे ऑल आर वेल वेंटिलेटेड एंड दे ऑल आर लाइक केप्ट विद बेटर प्रोविजंस एज कंपेयर टू प्रोबेबली 2 decades बैक और 3 decades बैक स्कूल्स। बट स्टिल हम लोगों को ये इंश्योर करना चाहिए कि बच्चों के वो सारे एरियाज, हम सब के वो सारे एरियाज अच्छे से वेल वेंटिलेटेड रहें, ड्राई रहें, विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। हमने भी बात किया कि मोल्ड्स, डस्ट माइट, ये सब वहां पे आते हैं जहाँ पे ह्यूमिडिटी ज्यादा है, वेट एरियाज ज्यादा है। इसी तरीके से क्लीनिंग ऑफ डस्ट विच इज इंपॉर्टेंट, इफ रिक्वायर्ड वी कैन यूज वैक्यूमिंग विद द HEPA फिल्टर। सो वैक्यूम क्लीनर यूज करना है, पर HEPA फिल्टर के साथ यूज करना है, अच्छे टाइप का यूज करना है। वो वाला वैक्यूम क्लीनर नहीं लेना है जो दिवाली की सेल के अंदर सस्ता मिलता है। वैक्यूम क्लीनर विद HEPA फिल्टर, दैट इज द नीड, दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट। द अदर थिंग इज दैट ब्रूमिंग या डस्टिंग दैट नीड्स टू बी अवॉइडेड, क्योंकि ये जनरली कहा जाता है कि जो धूल के पार्टिकल्स हैं वो जब भी कभी आप डस्टिंग या ब्रूमिंग करते हैं तो लगभग 3 से 4 घंटा लगता है उसको सेटल होने में जमीन पे। और बच्चे का जो ब्रीदिंग जोन होता है, बच्चे की हाइट छोटी है, बच्चे का ब्रीदिंग जोन नीचे होता है, तो बच्चा डायरेक्टली उनको इनहेल कर रहा होता है और वो प्रॉब्लम करता है। रिप्लेस चॉक बोर्ड्स विद द व्हाइट बोर्ड्स। आज के टाइम के अंदर सभी लोग व्हाइट बोर्ड्स यूज करते हैं, बट स्टिल हो सकता है कि कुछ ऐसी जगहें हों या कुछ ऐसे प्लेसेस हों जहां पे चॉक बोर्ड्स यूज होते हैं, और वो जो चौक है, उस चौक का जो डस्ट है, जो चौक डस्ट है, वो डायरेक्टली लिखने वाले के, स्पेशली टीचर्स के लिए हार्मफुल है। और वो एक तरीके से उनके लिए ऑक्यूपेशनल हैजार्ड है, वो उनके लिए ऑक्यूपेशनल एस्थमा क्रिएट कर सकता है, उनकी हेल्थ को बिगाड़ सकता है। और फिक्स लीकी एरियाज एंड वाटर डैमेज टू प्रिवेंट मोल्ड, वी जस्ट डिस्कस, and avoid indoor plants, which is important. Another thing which is important is many a times the people are using perfumes or the fragrance. That could be parents, that could be children, that could be teacher, that could be anybody else. So which is really a, you can say, like another important trigger factor उस बच्चे के लिए जिस बच्चे को फ्रीक्वेंटली कफ कोल्ड होता है, उसके लिए तो वो एक तरीके से नाइटमेयर है कि जैसे ही वो किसी स्ट्रॉन्ग स्मेल, स्पेशली परफ्यूम के संपर्क में आएगा, सैनिटाइजर, डॉक्टर वेदांता ने बोला, तो उनके संपर्क में जैसे ही आएगा तो उसकी प्रॉब्लम्स वंस अगेन एग्रीवेट हो जाएंगी। समटाइम्स वी रिकमेंड एयर प्योरीफायर, बट आई यूजुअली से दैट एयर प्योरीफायर्स में डिफरेंट टाइप्स के एयर प्योरीफायर्स वैरायटीज आती हैं। स्पेशलिस्ट से बात करके, एक्सपर्ट से बात करके, अगर आपके बच्चे की एलर्जी, पर्टिकुलर बच्चे की एलर्जी एयर प्योरीफायर से बेहतर हो सकती है और किस तरीके के एयर प्योरीफायर से बेहतर हो सकती है, देन ओनली कीप इट। अदरवाइज सारे एयर प्योरीफायर एक जैसे नहीं होते। एयर प्योरीफायर बहुत तरीके के आते हैं, बहुत कैपेसिटी, बहुत काबिलियत के आते हैं, और उसमें बहुत सारे तरीके के फैक्टर्स जो हैं वो देखे जाते हैं, तो जो एक्सपर्ट्स आपको बता सकते हैं। अनदर इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज ए नो पेट इनसाइड पॉलिसी। आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट स्कूल्स के अंदर तो पेट्स होते नहीं है, लेकिन घरों के अंदर भी हम जनरली कहते हैं कि पेट शुड नॉट बी देयर, और अगर हैं भी तो बेडरूम में, सोफाज पे, पलंग पे, उन सब चीजों पे नहीं होनी चाहिए, बेड्स पे नहीं होनी चाहिए। सो विच इज इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड उनकी पीरियोडिक वॉशिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इफ somebody is keeping the pets. And then डॉक्टर विक्रम ने और डॉक्टर सौम्या ने बहुत अच्छे से बताया कि एलर्जी सेफ जोन्स ड्यूरिंग लंच एंड स्नैक टाइम, यू कैन प्रोबेबली कीप सम पीनट फ्री टेबल्स। सपोज अगर आपकी क्लास के अंदर या आपके स्कूल के अंदर 2-3 बच्चे ऐसे हैं जिन बच्चों को आपको मालूम है कि उनको फूड एलर्जी है या उनको पीनट से एलर्जी है, और उनके लिए एक सेपरेट डेडिकेटेड एरिया सेपरेट कर सकते हैं जिसमें उनका अपना घर का लाया हुआ जो फूड आइटम है वो बच्चे खा रहे हैं और किसी और के साथ शेयर नहीं कर रहे, पर आपस में कर सकते हैं, विच इज पीनट फ्री। So you need to really proactively think about that. And sometimes there are certain children which can be allergic to latex, which is very important. And sometimes आप बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं, आप स्कूल के अंदर कोई फेस्टिवल मना रहे हैं, वहां पे आपने बैलून्स लगाए हैं जो लेटेक्स के बैलून्स हैं, और उस बच्चे को उस लेटेक्स की प्रॉब्लम की वजह से, लेटेक्स बैलून्स की वजह से प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है। सो डॉक्टर विक्रम, क्विकली we will be going very fast now. So do you think that allergies are contagious? एक से दूसरे में फैल सकती हैं?
No, allergies are non-contagious. Infections are contagious.
राइट। डॉक्टर सौम्या, डू यू थिंक दैट एलर्जीज कुछ आउटग्रो हो जाती हैं, बच्चे बाहर निकल जाते हैं, एक बार किसी को एलर्जी हो गई तो तमाम उम्र एलर्जी रहेगी रहेगी उसको?
In the context of food allergies, मिल्क और एग एलर्जी डेफिनेटली आउटग्रो कर सकते हैं, बट अदरवाइज जनरली आप जैसे बोल रहे थे कि एलर्जी का स्वरूप बदलता रहता है। सो आई थिंक अगर नाक का एलर्जी है, इट्स पॉसिबल दैट उनका लंग का एलर्जी मैनिफेस्ट हो जाए, नहीं तो एक्जिमा पहले था, स्किन एलर्जी, उसके बाद फूड एलर्जी हो जाए। आई थिंक जनरली इट इज अ मिथ दैट दे टेंड टू आउटग्रो सम एलर्जीज।
राइट। एंड देन ओनली फूड कॉजेज एलर्जी, आई थिंक हमने काफी डिस्कस किया है कि क्या क्या चीजें एलर्जी कर सकती हैं, और स्नीजिंग के अलावा बहुत सारे लक्षण हो सकते हैं। हु हेल्प्स विद एलर्जीज? डेफिनेटली अब आप सब लोग भी एलर्जी से हेल्प कर सकते हैं जब आप सब लोग जानते हैं, अदरवाइज एक जानकार डॉक्टर, एक एक्सपर्ट, वो आपको हेल्प कर सकता है। कुछ टेस्ट किए जा सकते हैं, अगर आप डॉक्टर के पास जाएंगे तो कुछ तरीके के ब्लड टेस्ट या स्किन टेस्ट जो बड़े इजी टेस्ट हैं आज की तारीख में किए जा सकते हैं, और आप कारण पता कर सकते हैं कि ये डस्ट माइट से प्रॉब्लम है, कि कॉकरोच से प्रॉब्लम है, कि मोल्ड से प्रॉब्लम है, कि पॉलन से है, कि फूड से है। और यस, एलर्जी को आप कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं लंबे समय के लिए और ठीक भी कर सकते हैं। सो हमारा जो एक मैसेज है वो ये है कि वी वांट टू, यू कैन से, लाइक क्रिएट अ मैसेज दैट बी ए बडी बट नॉट ए बुली। सो हमें किसी को बुली नहीं बनने देना है, किसी को बुली नहीं होने देना है। आई जस्ट वांट टू रिक्वेस्ट एवरी वन ऑफ यू, every one of your child, teach them, don't tease friends with allergies, don't force someone to eat shared food. If somebody is not liking that, so it's okay, let it be. He might be having some issues, so don't force it. Help them during allergy episode. उनका मजाक नहीं बनाना चाहिए कि हो देखिए क्या हो रहा है, नहीं, nothing. He is needing your help, and a friend in need is a friend indeed. So आपको उस समय के ऊपर उसको मदद करना है जिस समय के ऊपर उसकी जरूरत है। खेलते तो आप हैं ही हैं साथ में, लेकिन जब उसकी मदद का समय है, अगर उस समय पे आप उसको हेल्प करते हैं, तब आप सच्चे साथी हैं उसके, तब आप सच्चे फ्रेंड हैं उसके। एंड वी हैव टू रेस्पेक्ट ईच अदर, वी हैव टू रेस्पेक्ट एवरी सिंगल चाइल्ड, एवरी सिंगल चाइल्ड्स एंटाइटी, their own privacy and their own conditions and everything. So there are certain guidelines for Allergy Smart School in which policies and review that every school must have a written policy for every type of allergy management and every type of anaphylaxis. That means life threatening allergy management कि किसको कैसे डिटेक्ट करना है, अगर किसी को है तो उसके लिए क्या करना है, फर्स्ट स्टेप क्या होगा, सेकंड स्टेप क्या होगा, थर्ड स्टेप क्या होगा, पेरेंट को कब बुलाना है, डॉक्टर को कब बताना है. सो पेरेंट को कब बताना है, डॉक्टर को कब बताना है, और ये जो पॉलिसीज हैं ये एनुअली रिव्यू होनी चाहिए, विच इज आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट. देन स्टाफ प्रिपेयर्डनेस, लाइक जैसे हम आपसे बात कर रहे हैं, हमारी टीम जो है वी आर वेरी मच हैप्पी टू डू सम वर्चुअल सेशंस. वी आर आल्सो हैप्पी टू हैव सम फिजिकल विजिट्स टू योर स्कूल. जैसे डॉक्टर वेदांतन आपको बता रहे थे, वी आर ऑलवेज हैप्पी फ्रॉम आवर आईएपी एलर्जी चैप्टर टू हेल्प यू आउट एट एनी स्टेज, एंड वी वांट टू even help each and every school of the country for some annual training program. So हम बहुत खुश होंगे कि अगर आप लोग अपने यहाँ पे कोई एनुअल ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम आप अपने स्टाफ के लिए करते हैं, जिसके अंदर के हम एलर्जिक रिएक्शंस को रिकॉग्नाइज कर सकते हैं और बता सकते हैं कि अगर किसी को होता है तो उस समय के ऊपर क्या मेजर्स लिए जाएं, और इमरजेंसी रिस्पॉन्स प्रोटोकॉल्स आपके बनाए जा सकते हैं. स्टूडेंट्स के लिए कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन शीट्स होनी चाहिए कि सीवियर एलर्जीज क्या होती हैं, विजुअल रिमाइंडर्स, पोस्टर्स, क्लासरूम के अंदर कुछ नोटिस हो सकते हैं. अब ये डिपेंड करता है बच्चे के ऊपर. बहुत छोटा बच्चा है तो उसके लिए विजुअल डिपिक्शन के ज्यादा होंगे, बड़े बच्चे हैं तो उनके लिए प्रोबेबली रिटन नोट्स इन द रीजनल लैंग्वेज could be there, but visual reminders could be there. Parents and guardian, एक पेरेंट और गार्जियन के बीच में जो आपकी पेरेंट टीचर मीटिंग होती है उसके अंदर ये इश्यूज भी डिस्कस करने जरूरी है. हमने डिस्कस किया फूड सेफ्टी प्रोटोकॉल्स के बारे में, एलर्जन फ्री टेबल विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, वेरी डूएबल टाइप ऑफ थिंग. फूड शेयरिंग शुड बी डिस्करेज स्पेशली विद दोज चिल्ड्रन जहां पे क्या लगता है कि उनको प्रॉब्लम होती है, प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है, एंड इमरजेंसी प्लान शुड बी इन प्लेस. एंड रेगुलर अवेयरनेस सेशन, जैसे हम आपसे बात कर रहे हैं, हम चाहेंगे आप दूसरों से बात करें, आगे लोगों को बताएं, और फिर दोबारा से आपको हमारी नीड पड़ती है तो आप हमसे बात कर सकते हैं. हैंड वॉशिंग विच हैज बीन many times stressed by all my colleagues, and allergy management information should be available. आप लोगों की एक बुकलेट होती है, आप लोगों की एक बुक होती है जो आप एनुअल बुक रिलीज करते हैं, जिसके अंदर आपकी एक मैगजीन होती है. मैं चाहूंगा कि आपके मैगजीन्स के अंदर एलर्जीज के ऊपर एक रेगुलर पीरियोडिक आर्टिकल आना चाहिए. हमारी टीम रेडी है आप लोगों के साथ काम करने के लिए, आप लोगों के लिए आर्टिकल्स कंट्रीब्यूट करने के लिए, इंफॉर्मेशन देने के लिए, बट द नीड शुड कम फ्रॉम योर साइड. सो आई थिंक वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड अबाउट दीज थिंग्स. So quickly going through that, this we have already discussed, and now I will be just going with the key take home messages once again, that we need to really explain that क्या allergy triggers हैं जो हमने अभी डिटेल में बात किया. We need to avoid the known allergens, seek help for the symptoms. अगर किसी बच्चे को प्रॉब्लम है तो उस समय के ऊपर उसको हेल्प कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, कुछ मेडिसिन हमारे पास हैंडी होनी चाहिए. एंड वी नीड टू एक्चुअली रिस्पेक्ट अदर्स. कभी भी किसी को बुली नहीं बनाना चाहिए, किसी का मजाक नहीं करना चाहिए. वंस अगेन दीज फ्लायर्स आर देयर. सो मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है आप सब लोगों से कि ये फ्लायर्स हमने हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों में बनाए हैं, और ये इन्फॉर्मेशन डॉक्टर खलातकर ने भी आपके साथ शेयर की थी. और ये फ्लायर्स जो हैं, दीज आर very beautiful information which have been designed by our chapter, and a special thanks to the designer Dr. Vikram Patra, जो बहुत बिजी हैं अपनी प्रैक्टिस में बच्चों की हेल्प करने के लिए, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी उन्होंने स्पेशली टाइम निकाला है हम सबके लिए, आप लोगों के लिए, इन फ्लायर्स को क्रिएट करने के लिए. तो मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ डॉक्टर विक्रम का कि उन्होंने इतना समय निकाला. लेकिन वाकई में ये फ्लायर्स इतने इतने काम के हैं, इतने यूजफुल हैं, इन पे इतनी अच्छी इंफॉर्मेशन दी गई है कि जो आप सब लोगों से गुजारिश है कि ये फ्लायर्स जो हैं आप अपने पेरेंट्स ग्रुप में, स्टूडेंट्स ग्रुप में, टीचर ग्रुप में, हर जगह पे जाएं. और ये हमारी लास्ट स्लाइड है हमारे ग्रुप की तरफ से. एन एलर्जी स्मार्ट स्कूल इज नॉट ए लग्जरी, इट इज नॉट ए चॉइस, it is a necessity for protecting our children's health, future, and smiles. With this, I would like to thank Dr. Somya, Dr. Vikram, my colleagues, my co-panelists, for taking out some very busy schedule, some time from their very busy schedule. I would also like to invite some concluding remarks from Dr. Rashmi, if Dr. Rashmi is around. Madam Rashmi, madam, आप हैं यहाँ पे?
हाँ, मैं यहीं पे हूँ सर, और मैं आपको सिर्फ एक एश्योरेंस यहाँ पे ये देना चाहती हूँ कि बीइंग अ प्रिंसिपल, आई एम एसोसिएटेड विद मेनी अदर को प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ डिफरेंट पब्लिक स्कूल्स एंड अदर स्कूल्स आल्सो. I mean, I find this last part what you've mentioned just now, that it will be interesting if you could communicate with more schools. So I'll see if I can arrange some kind of a online session. We schools have something called called Sahodaya, where a group of schools come together and we organize a lot of related programs to education and other things. I think this will be one interesting thing where I'll try to organize it as soon as possible. And if you can take an online session like the one you have taken just now, and I'm sure this idea will be communicated to many schools. CBC has come out with a low oil fact and low sugar thing. There are those kind of posters also we are putting up in our schools. I think this allergy free school or a low no allergy school is something that will be also be very interesting. So I'll just put it across to my colleagues in other schools, and I'll see if I can bring you up to hold a session among these schools, sir. That's a small assurance from my side.
So this is actually very much means like needed, ma'am, and this was the only thing with the aim with which we have done this session. So this Energy Smart School is not the one-off session. It is not the one-off webinar. We wish to start a momentum in the country, and I personally feel that today is the day which is marking, which is starting this momentum. And the people like you, we actually need your help. We actually need you to spread this thing, and we will be more than happy to talk to more principals, to talk to more teachers, to talk to more students. And we are not only three, we are at least 1200, ma'am. So we are across the country, and we are more than that. So we are having a good number of people with us. So we can definitely help you, and we would love to help you. So thank you so much everyone for joining today. जाते जाते डॉक्टर विक्रम, लास्ट मैसेज आपकी तरफ से, फिर डॉक्टर सोमिया, लास्ट मैसेज आपकी तरफ से.
स्कूल में पेनिट्रेट, मेरा बेटा खुद डीएवी स्कूल में था, सो मैं जानता हूँ डीएवी स्कूल का कल्चर. एंड डेफिनेटली मैम, योर हेल्प इज डेफिनेटली नीडेड, and you have a group of principals, and DAV network is a big network. At least if we can start from one school chain, it will be our blessing, and definitely we will try to approach other schools also. And thank you for the suggestion to have online this kind of thing. And Dr. Neeraj already mentioned that this is not the first or the last. This is just a beginning of the momentum. Thank you very much.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Soumya, ma'am.
Ma'am, thank you for that assurance that you are with us in spreading the awareness for allergy awareness across the country. And this is very much needed. And as Dr. Neeraj rightly pointed, I think this should be the beginning of creating a bigger movement about allergy awareness across the country. So thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Soumya. Thank you, Dr. Vikram. And thank you, Rashmi ma'am, for joining us. I think you are not in the town, but still you managed to join.
Yeah, I'm at Orissa right now.
But ma'am, thank you very much for this thing. And just to ensure that this particular recording is also available and will remain available on our chapter YouTube channel. So you can freely share with anyone this particular link, which I have shared with you. And this link will continue there. And we are always with you for you, ma'am. So thank you very much once again, everyone. And with this, we will now close the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.